to follow you because you did such an excellent summary yesterday. But anyway, I just think first of all, I would like to thank all the presenters and the chairs, and of course a special thanks to you, Richard and Jill and Minna, that for well providing the whole platform for the conference, doing a lot of the hard work. And I think this conference has been a real success. We've heard many exciting talks, and what I found especially important is that we heard a lot about, well, the situation of family members affected by various types of addictive disorders, from gambling to alcohol to methamphetamine. We heard about various countries from South Africa, Malaysia to New Zealand, Europe, and so on. And we heard quite a lot about various types of interventions, starting with interventions for family members in their own rights, to Jeff Food's, what kind of impact can family members also have on on their family members who suffer from the addiction, up to parenting issues. So what came to my mind was that many of these interventions we heard talks about are at the moment restricted to some model projects or to interventions that are offered by volunteers or to specific organizations devoted to the issue. And as a consequence, I think on a national and international level, support for family members is still heavily underrepresented. So I think this is an issue we need to push forward. And I think also there's a lot of improvement possible regarding the reach of family members. But we as AFINet will, I think, continue working on these issues. And the conference also was a large success regarding networking, which took place in the chat during the whole conference. And so we hope we'll be able to continue this line of work, hopefully next year with a live conference in Rotterdam. And also, of course, with our webinars and the resources provided on the website. And so we all hope to see you again in Rotterdam, this time live with less technical problems. And so I like to hand over to Richard since time is running.
Okay, just to say that, amazing enough, as well as all the other issues that we've had today, we're actually having work done on our roof here at my house. So there's banging going on outside. So I hope that won't interfere too much. And also to say, before I forget it, that our next webinar, which I mentioned right at the beginning, is coming up in October, the 19th of October, and registration is now open for it. So as with all these other ones, you need to register for it to get sent the link. So please do register for the 19th of October, interacting with the treatment system. Gallus, you've done a lovely summary. I don't want to do too much more, and it is getting quite late, particularly for some people. But I suppose one of the other things that came out for me very strongly was about partnerships and collaborations in a number of the presentations, both yesterday and today. Partnerships and collaborations between, on the one hand, researchers or research units or universities and so on, and on the other hand, providers of services or family member groups and so on. So we saw that quite a lot. Nikki talked about a very strong collaboration in New Zealand. Angela and Peter co-presented a very strong collaboration between the service provider of Smart Recovery in Australia and Peter at the university, and so on and so forth. And indeed, of course, Chido and Catherine are a nice example of that, with Catherine working within a research institution and Chido being a consultant psychiatrist. So these partnerships, I think, are really important, and they're one of the ways forward, where I think people have suggested, and one of the chat comments was, we've done lots of research, you know all the research, why don't we get out there and make change? I think that was well answered by one of the other speakers who said, unless we have the local evidence, we can't apply for funding, we can't get funding. We need to constantly reaffirm the research in order to convince our funders that these are really important issues, that family members matter, that there are ways that we can help people, and so on and so forth. So I think this relationship between what research offers, what practice offers, how we get evidence between them, and how we then use those to influence funders and, importantly, policymakers. The conversation that again was held with Catherine and Chido about are we looking for policy which then feeds down into developing services, or are we looking for services and family members to come together to insist on policy change upwards? Obviously, it's not one or the other, it needs to be both. But hopefully, these are all the things which we continue to debate within AFINet while we try to make clear that family members are affected. They are a largely forgotten group, and they're ones that are very dear to all of our hearts. We need to help family members. Certainly, we need to help them look after their loved ones with addiction problems of one sort or another. But we also need to help them in their own right, because they are suffering very badly and need help. So for me, this conference has reinforced that very strongly. We've had some wonderful speakers from all over the world, and thank you all so much.
Here, here. Thanks, Richard, and thanks, Jill, and thanks, everyone. It's been really, really good. Yeah, even now it's nearly midnight, and I slept through this morning or yesterday's version, but certainly really appreciate it.
Well, yesterday's version will be on the internet, on our website within the next week or so. But thank you all very, very much, and please all, lots of thank yous I see coming in on the chat. But if people want to come in and unmute themselves and put their photos on, then they're very welcome to do so.
And Richard and Jill, you have done a tremendous work in communicating to everyone, sending them links and emails and reminders, and wonderful job.
Absolutely.
It's been very much I mean, Jill and I know have done a lot, but it's been very, very much a combined effort. So thank you, Mina and Gallus, and everybody else, and thank you, Doreen, and all the other chairs, and for everybody participating. It's been absolutely lovely. It's lovely to see people. So yes, Ursula, lovely to see you again. Thank you. And thank you, Pauline, and thank you, Steve, and so on and so forth. And hello, Ale. I see your pictures on, so I'll say hello to you as well.
How do you see everybody's pictures? I've got 9 up. How do you see everybody?
Well,
you need a really, really big screen.
Somebody who knows something about Teams may one day be able to explain how it works, but I think
I would like to see everybody.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll thank you, Anya. I think this is probably a time that we can all stop self-congratulating. Log off and say this has been very successful first conference. The webinars, please come and join them. This, I think, makes me feel that whatever happens with Doreen and Rotterdam, that this is also a solution. That maybe even if we do manage to have a live face-to-face conference every year or every 2 years, as we'd originally hoped, that the intervening year we can have an online one, because this has obviously worked very well. And although it's not nearly as good not seeing people in person, what it has done is allow people from all over the world to come at no cost. So I mean, there are disadvantages certainly, but there are massive advantages as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So
Thank you.
goodbye.
Bye.
I stay until the very end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
We're
gonna
gonna-
try
Thank you
some of
once
these-
more, Mina. Great work.
No problem. Well, it was,
Same to you.
well, at least we had the good spirit there all along. Yes.
You did. I mean, you did some marvelous stuff, Lena. Mina, sorry, Lena. God.
Yeah.
Getting tired. So thank you so much.
Yeah, but this is a learning experience. Now I know I have to study more about this whole video sharing business. But apparently the teams have been jamming today. So
Really, all over the world.
I blame Microsoft, not my skills.
It's
Yeah.
always good to blame Microsoft.
Yeah,
so-
isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so
All
wish you
right,
all a
people.
relaxing
Yes.
afternoon.
I don't know what to do with the videos now because there probably would be a lot of editing to do.
No, I don't think we should do lots of editing.
Yeah.
I think for ones
If we
where,
just,
for ones that
Yeah.
where there was a particular problem, and that was only 2 or 3, I think we should use the pre-recorded ones.
all right.
But then if you have managed to capture the discussion at the end,
Yes, I did.
if that bit can be taken out and added on or put separately as a discussion, a bit of video.
Yeah.
But for the ones where everything went okay and we've got it live
Right.
plus the discussion, that's a whole
Okay.
component. The ones
Yeah.
where it went wrong, then we'll do the pre-recorded one and then add the discussion bit at the end. So minimal editing.
Yes. Okay. I got that. I asked. There is a guy working in our organization, and I'm sure he could do it. I mean, he could do it.
And if
It was
that's
fine.
so, that's wonderful. And then if you
But
can,
I start downloading to via transfer to Paul, directly to Paul.
if
Yes.
you can send them both directly to Paul and to me,
All right.
and then I can also liaise with him to make sure that he knows what he's doing.
All right. All right.
Okay.
I start doing. Unfortunately, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Yeah. Sorry, Jill. Go on.
Go, go. Go on, go.
No, I'm leaving tomorrow morning for hiking. It's my turn to go.
Lovely.
Do the walking bit. I'm not gonna do 130K. That's for sure.
How long will you be away?
Until Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So do it when you come back. Really, I mean,
I will. I will.
there's no urgency to this, and I've
right.
said deliberately a couple of weeks. So
All right.
yeah, don't give yourself any more headaches.
Okay. Super.
And most importantly, enjoy the hiking. Are you
Oh,
doing?
thank you.
Are you doing it with the family?
No, with my friend, my lady friend, my girlfriend. Yes,
Love-
I'm leaving the family behind.
I was
It's
wondering.
a vacation, a type of vacation. Yes,
Lovely.
Yeah.
I don't have to drag anybody behind.
Two things just to ask. I wasn't going to send out any evaluation.
No.
No.
Right.
I wasn't, I could do a general thing. I thought, oh God, I'll have to do it on smart sheets and we have to collate it. I mean, I think, we've had lots of thanks and lots of very nice things said. So I wasn't going to do that. I'll do a few notes about sort of lessons learnt, just some notes, and I'll send them round, because obviously, like, if there are things about the technicals that we learn, that will be useful. God knows what they are. But so I'll just do a few little notes with the numbers. I've got the final tally for attendees and which countries, and then we can discuss it at the next trustees meeting, sort of any lessons learned, because Doreen might want to know that, or we need to know it for other virtual events. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Nina. Have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Thank you.